Padawans, friends, Fett freaks, and all. We're glad you've joined us for another episode of Stay on Target. I'm your host, Dustin. We're going to get into things, but first, I got my friends here. At least I like to call them that. Are you guys my friends?
No.
I mean, define friend.
Are we workplace associates?
Yes. Also, are we being paid for this?
No.
Then this is no longer a workplace.
Nope. It is a
Friendship
volunteer-based fun
Yeah.
fetty.
Funfetti. Good one.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Nick.
Who are you?
Who is this?
I'm Matt.
Strong Matt? How you feeling this week? You feeling strong?
No.
You
He's
feeling
Plaid
weak?
Matt.
You feeling
Yeah.
melancholy?
Melancholy.
I'm not sure what that word is.
funny.
Okay,
Spelled
and
just
we
like
got in the
melancholy.
cockpit
I'm here in
Dan.
the cockpit. Dan's here.
Dan's running the show. He's the smart one behind
Dude,
everything.
honestly, if Dan
Not
wasn't
really.
here, this show would
Not be here.
never have taken off.
It's true, because we can't have
It
it.
never would
Because
have
we
taken
don't
off.
understand
We-
technology.
We can't take flight without a pilot. Am I
Yeah.
right?
Am I
So-
right? Am I right?
I like to
So
think of it
that's-
as the plane can't take off nor crash without the pilot. Well, it can
Yes, it
crash.
can.
It can crash
It
with the
crash with-
pilot.
It can crash with and without the pilot.
Can it
Right.
crash without a pilot?
Yes.
Yes.
Because there could be a
Yes.
fake pilot
Yes.
who's not considered
So-
a pilot.
It's called
who tries to take
autopilot.
them off.
I promise to get you in the air. I don't promise to get you down.
Another
That's all I'm
happy
gonna say.
landing.
Right.
You have to say that at some
Imagine
point.
a pilot that has like fear of flying, so he like takes off and he immediately jumps out the plane because he's like, I can't do this. I
Nope.
can't do it.
I'm out, guys. I'm out.
Wow.
Yeah. So the autopilot takes control, crashes right into the ground. It's a tragedy, really. But it was expected.
Did you just describe this episode?
Yes. Autopilot.
And on that
Autopilot.
bombshell,
And on that bombshell, we're going to go into some non-spoilers
Non-spoiler
for
spoilers.
this episode. Again, the title always eludes me. What it was the title?
In the
Honestly,
name
God.
of honor.
In the name of honor.
Spelt without a U.
That is my running gag because I never remember the title. In
I don't
the
under-
name of honor.
How do you never remember the title?
I don't
Is
know.
it just
I
you just
never thought
don't
I could forget
care?
so much without so fast without a severe blow to that.
I just want to hear you say the part where you say, "What did you say last week?"
Yeah.
Well, I just want to hear you say the part that you say,
I never thought
was
he
it
could
again?
forget so much so fast without a
fast.
severe blow.
right?
What was
Oh
it?
my
Sorry,
You
go
kept
ahead.
saying last week. You kept saying,
You know what I
If
mean?
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Yes,
know what I mean?
No, I don't. Could you elaborate further?
No.
No, he can't because he doesn't even know what he means.
I set myself up for that when I took off and I crashed really
Right.
You jumped out.
Autopilot.
You jumped out.
jumped right out of that one.
Autopilot is malfunctioning.
Your
I think-
mind jumped out.
Yeah, my mind. You know how your body
Jumped
gets you
out,
somewhere
forgot
and your
the
brain
parachute.
doesn't remember where you are? What
Yeah.
was that, Matt?
I said you jumped out and forgot the parachute.
That's it.
And then we all crashed.
Yep.
So anyway, thanks for joining. We're going to get into these
Wednesday night.
non-spoilers, but before we do, please like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to. If not, you don't have to. It's up to
Nope,
you.
you still got
It's
it.
up to you. Yeah. If you don't, you're dead to us.
Yep. Anyway, let's
it-
get into this thingamabig-doos.
Thingamabigadoos.
You know what I'm saying.
Are you all right?
Nope. All right.
I didn't think so.
We're going to start with our one-word descriptions of this episode. And we're going to start off with Dan.
All
Just
right.
throw him out there.
Throw me under the bus.
Well, the pilot's got to
I'm
either
flying this
fly
ship.
or,
He's,
or crash.
He's freaking out. He's having a panic attack.
My word for today was Bacta.
Ooh.
There's a part 2 to it, but I'm gonna let you ponder on Bacta.
to.
It was a good pondering.
It was a good pondering.
We had a good pondering today.
Indeed, we did.
Indeed.
Pondering away. That's us. Ponderers.
Just pondering through the desert of loneliness and quactas.
Quactus.
It's too real.
It's too real.
And stiflings.
It describes we just describe our lives.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe. Perhaps.
So do I get to pick who I throw the next word
Yeah,
to?
go ahead,
Yeah,
do it.
So
throw
I'm
it.
gonna throw it
Fly this thing.
all the way to Matt.
What's your word, Matt?
It's a
My word was underwhelming.
Yeah.
Ooh, coming out the gate
Yep.
strong.
Think on that.
Think on that. Let it stew.
Don't you ponder, you think.
Yeah, you don't
sit there and
You're
think
not
about it.
ponderers. We're the ponderers here.
Yeah, Ponda Baba.
Ponderosa.
What's your word? Nick?
Okay. Oh, is it me now?
Yeah, it's
Nick,
you.
He never.
Matt,
he
Oh,
never-
Matt,
oh, wait,
Matt
just-
Matt, you
usually
gotta
throws it to.
throw
You
it.
gotta
Cast
throw it
it.
at somebody.
Just
Ponder
for
it.
that, Dustin.
Oh,
Oh,
snap.
wow.
That's right.
He's
Shots
calling
fired.
the quack the slimy. Shoot, I don't remember.
Yeah. Stifling.
My word.
Did you forget?
No, it's conflicted. I will say conflicted. There are many reasons for this word, and I will describe them later.
Laser.
And I'm going to throw this at Nick. Wah!
Wait, do that one more time.
Oh.
Wah! Perfect time.
There it is. The cheese slice stuck to the
cheese.
forehead.
I like to call him Kersantanik.
Chrysanthemic. Because I look like a Wookiee.
He's a Wookiee.
He's a
You,
Wookiee.
you sound like
You
a
sound
Wookiee.
like a Wookiee.
Call back to season 1.
Season 1, Amando.
Mando, what's your word?
My word is lacking.
Oh, man.
Ponder on that, will you?
We're really not giving this episode
Not a good.
a super.
My screen's moving.
You are moving, sir. Ooh, he's using. Of course, I know. He's me.
Well, of course I know him. He's me.
That's so good. I love it.
Oh, he's not dead. No, not yet.
No, are you
Matt's
a
just
vampire?
smiling all the time, just like,
No, we should
It's
call him
me,
happy.
Matt.
He's Happy Matt this week. Happy Matt.
Happy Matt.
He's all the things all together because it's the final episode, so it's Happy Strong Plaid Matt.
Happy strong
Happy
plaid,
strong
Matt.
plaid. He gets a new
He's a
adjective
lot
every
better
week.
than
huh?
Nick,
week.
Matt.
Every
He's
week
also
I
got
forget
that-
the title. Every week
Yeah.
Matt gets something.
Well, this is
cooler.
forgetful Dustin. He forgets stuff. You got that little Superman.
Where are we?
Superman curl going
It's
on.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Clark Kent curl.
Because I am.
But if he put on glasses, we wouldn't know who he was.
Where,
All
where'd
right.
Matt go?
Where'd Matt go?
Where is? Oh, he's here.
All right,
right, let's
we've reached our flying altitude now, so
Yeah.
we're starting to float away.
And the pilots are ejecting.
Boosh. All right, so we got conflicted, back to lacking, and underwhelming.
Yeah.
It's, uh,
Take
bad.
that and whatever you do with it.
Yeah, take that and ponder.
yeah, let's talk about this episode a little bit more without spoiling it. This is a non-spoiler section. There was a lot that happened, and that's it.
There was a lot that happened and a lot that didn't happen.
I'll say it brings it to a conclusion. Now, if that conclusion is satisfying, underwhelming to you, it's up to you. But for us, for me, I was conflicted with this episode. There was a lot of cool moments in it, especially with certain creatures I thought were pretty fun.
Yes.
There was some non-fanfare points that I was kind of underwhelmed with.
Yeah.
That I wanted to see actually happen, and I don't want to spoil it, so I'm being vague.
Yeah.
The action's decent, but there was a lot of moments I found in this episode where I was like, why do they do that? Why didn't they just do this? Tactically, this makes no sense. And I guess that kind of took me out of the episode in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
And I'll sum up. Oh, what was I just thinking?
Let me explain.
No.
No, there is too much. Let me sum up.
Oh shoot, what was the last thing? I had one more point to make.
Well, you know what I mean?
We'll skip over Nick. I don't remember that point.
Yeah. So yeah, mine
What'd you
was,
think?
Mine
Without
was
spoiling it.
mine. My word was lacking, and yeah, it was lacking in some aspects. I think overall, and we were talking about this before the show. It kind of, the previous 2 episodes, the universe was expanded, and then this one, it was like, okay, we've expanded enough. Now let's shrink it down again. And really, they didn't show us, like, what am I trying to say? They didn't show us any
World building.
world
Universe
building
building.
or consequences to what was done in this episode. And it just felt small. And it felt one-dimensional. It was a good episode overall, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean,
But like Dustin said, they went in some directions. I was like, I don't know if I like that. And that's why I'll say, that's why I said it was lacking. Because I was like, I wanted more. It didn't meet my expectations.
jump back.
Yeah,
real
jump back to
fast.
him.
It does what it's supposed to as far as the story goes,
Mhm.
but the execution of it
It's a little messy.
was lacking in your terms.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think, and I think that's where I really am conflicted because there's some cool parts in it,
Yeah.
but they're really more just moments. And I feel like they
Yeah.
could have cut stuff out of this in a lot of ways.
They could
I
have,
was
yeah.
like,
They could
it really
it.
didn't
There was a
need
lot
much.
there was a lot of fluff in this one.
but there were definitely some cool moments. I won't.
Yeah.
There were some funny moments, some cool moments. Too much dialogue in certain aspects, but overall pretty good. What'd you think, Matt?
What'd you think, man? Strong
Explain your
plaid.
word without explaining. No, I'm just joking.
Explain.
Underwhelming.
Underwhelming.
I guess for being the last episode of the season, it did not meet what I was hoping it would. The requirements, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you look a lot at the action too?
Yes, and there was good action
Yeah.
at moments, as you said.
Yeah.
As
A
you
lot of
said.
moments.
And we'll talk about that probably more in spoilers.
It's
But, I don't know. It was just underwhelming for me.
Yeah.
So.
It's like it was trying to get to a crescendo, and then like right before it did, it just goes bloop. Like, oh, I hit the dead spot on the
Completely
drum.
missed.
You know, like, oh, I missed that note, and now I'm not playing anymore because I'm petrified.
Embarrassed.
I am frozen with fear.
Frozen with fear. Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think, Dan?
Yeah,
So,
Dean.
I think my take on it, to quickly get through it, is I think what everybody's kind of saying as well, maybe. I don't want to put words in your mouths. But I think where we're at
All right.
is
We should just talk about that.
we saw so much cool stuff in 5 and 6, and it really took the show to like a whole new level.
Yep.
And then when we came back to 7, I think ultimately, because of what we got in 5 and 6, it was hard to like snap back to reality of the Book of Boba Fett. Wouldn't
Yeah.
you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
That's,
absolutely.
no, that's really.
Absolutely.
like I said, it was big, and then it was small again.
They kind of
Yes.
hurt. They kind of shot themselves in the foot. In
In a foot.
In
Not
somebody's
their foot. In a
In
foot.
somebody's foot.
In
In
the
our
fans'
proverbial
foots.
foots, if you know
Right.
what I mean.
Right.
If you know
So
what
I
I'm
think-
talking about.
Yep. So I think where
Foot.
I'm at is
Feet.
I said back to, because I think we went
Back to.
back to where we were, which was episodes 1 through 4, which were kind of, some were okay, moments were all right, some were kind of cheesy, some were kind of weak.
Power Rangers.
And then we also got some cool stuff without spoiling anything, but it wasn't anything so cool because of what we got in 5 and 6. So I think you guys
Yeah.
would agree with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in some ways, that's why it felt a little deflating, all the underwhelmingness.
Yeah.
But it was still a great ending to the show, because my second part of the back to word means we are now back to Mando.
Yeah.
Because
Right
Book
on.
of Boba Fett is over with, so I think that means we're going back to Mando's
Yeah.
story. I don't know actually where they're going for sure, but that's what I'm surmising.
Right. Just so space. Oh, sorry. You want?
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, I think that's why it was just so underwhelming, lacking, and whatever Dustin said.
Yeah.
Because you know they had Boba, but then Mando came in, and he overshadowed Boba in his own show,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
the ending was trying to focus more on Boba
But-
instead of Mando,
Yeah.
and it just fell flat in some areas.
Yeah.
Like we've said, some of it was good. Other areas it was like, airplane's going down.
We
Yeah.
hit
So,
turbulence.
The airplane's falling apart.
turbulence. So kind of to sum it up, there are great moments in this episode, but
Yes.
overall, we're just giving you our real takes on it. We're being
Yeah.
as honest as we can with this one. We had high hopes. I think our expectations were
high
pretty
hopes.
high for this episode.
Yeah.
So especially coming off those two, like Dan said.
Yeah.
So that's where I think we really landed with this episode. It was underwhelming. I think is probably the best way we could describe it.
Yep.
But some people might enjoy it more than others. So if you're one of those people, I would still recommend this series for the most part
Oh yeah,
for everybody out there. I still think the strongest two episodes were the previous ones.
with
Mandos.
Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian
and the Mando fans.
and the Mando
It seemed
fans.
We'll
like
still
it-
be happy with this episode
Yeah.
for sure.
It seemed like they couldn't keep this show afloat without Mando popping
Yeah.
in.
And maybe we'll go into that a little bit more in spoiler talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of
Yeah.
wraps up our non-spoiler talk. Thanks for checking it out with us.
Yes.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Check
Listen to us on all the podcasts out there. We're in all of your ears.
podcast. We're in all of your ears.
How many
We're
ears do they
invading your
have?
brain.
I don't know. It depends on what
At
species
least
you are.
That is true.
3,
At least 3.
maybe 5.
At least.
But-
Anywhere in between there.
That's all we've got to say about
That's all
that
we
for
gotta
non-spoilers. I think we're going to start getting into the spoiler talk because I think we
Yeah, we
got a
are.
lot to get off our chest and talk about with this episode.
Yes.
Yes.
You guys ready for that?
I think
Yeah.
we're ready for that. That
Yeah.
pretty much wraps up our
Yeah.
Book of Boba Fett non-spoiler reviews, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Wow, no more non-spoilers. We are going to spoil the entire
Total
season.
spoilers.
Yeah, we're
Right.
gonna talk about the whole season as a whole
Yeah.
Yeah.
and this episode.
Yeah.
Because there's lots to talk about. We're gonna try and do it in a timely manner, which never happens, but we're gonna try anyway.
We're gonna try it. Okay.
And we hope you continue to join us for that. So stay tuned, and we're gonna go there in 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1. Spoilers.
Let me give the fans a commercial break here.
All right,
Which is
commercial
literally
break.
just like laughter.
We can't hear
What?
anything. Not gonna lie. I'm not an actor.
Not paid
That was-
actors.
That was funnier than you guys realized.
Yeah,
Okay.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Right, I hope it was
I
too.
felt like an idiot.
Right? I was like looking off into the distance, like, yep,
Off into the twin suns.
Trust
right,
me. it
burning
works.
my retinas.
I think it works, but that was the commercial break. I'm going to move you guys around for this segment here.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
This
whoa,
is
whoa,
We're going to
whoa.
change this
We're
up
the
here.
Brady Bunch.
Here we go. Let's check it out. Let's see if this works.
Wait a minute. I'm not Matt.
Yeah, I know you're not.
Wait a second. This is confusing.
We're gonna
Mind if we
really
call you
confuse the-
Bruce?
We're going to really confuse the fans here with this one. but
We're
it's-
really giving them what they want now.
Why do we put it at the bottom corner? Why can't we just put it like right on our face?
That's a
Because
good
that's
idea.
stupid.
It's like,
Because
yes.
it hides our handsome features.
Because then if you move your face around,
You speak for yourself.
Mm,
I got the
will.
face only a mother could love. Poor fool doesn't even know he's ugly. Self-deprecating humor.
Oh,
I
man.
My
got-
favorite.
works
I
every
can't
time.
be ugly. That's a great episode.
Yellow is ugly. I'm wearing yellow.
SpongeBob's color.
SpongeBob reference.
That's perfect.
That's good.
All right, we're gonna start spoiling. Let's get into this.
Spoil it.
All right, so
Spoil it for us,
this
Dustin.
episode sucked.
Yeah, everybody dies
Oh,
within the
come
first,
on.
No, it didn't suck.
first minute.
Yeah, where do we want to start? Okay, there's a lot that happens in this episode.
It's
but
called
not
In the
too
Name of
much.
Honor.
In
Let's
the
start with that.
name of
Why is it
honor.
called In the Name of Honor, Dustin?
Was there any honor?
Because Boba Fett's taken the honorable approach to things. I think really that sums up this episode and what they're trying to convey. The way that they convey it, I don't believe is the best. They did not get that through. My biggest takeaway from this episode and the Book of Boba Fett in a lot of ways is just I didn't really care about
Right? Boba.
Boba and all the people he's supposed to be protecting. We
Yep.
saw him like twice. We saw the Tuskens more than we saw the people of that
And the
city. Why was he
Tuskens-
wanting to protect him so much? They didn't convey that feeling enough for me to care. That's
Yeah.
why whenever we got Mando, it was like, yeah, somebody I care about again.
Right.
You know?
Stop
shaking
shaking
the
the
table.
table.
I'm passionate.
I'm passionate.
So that's one big takeaway for me.
The police ate Timothy.
What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, no, I would agree. Like I said, I don't think they were like, this show couldn't survive without Mando. Honestly, could you imagine the show if the Mandalorian didn't show up?
I
It would have
think-
been like
it
the
would've
first
been
3
terrible.
episodes.
It would
the
have been
whole
like,
time.
what are we watching? What happened?
Yeah.
What just happened?
They-
Nobody knows.
They really, yeah. Sorry. Keep
No, you can go. You can go.
No,
no. They just really missed the mark with Boba Fett, like completely.
Yeah.
He did not feel like Boba Fett. I know they were trying to make him a new character, but I just don't feel like they conveyed that and showed it the right process of that for him to be that way. They didn't really nail it. We understand in some ways,
Yeah.
but you give us like really dumb exposition, especially in this episode where you're just like, okay, you're literally just telling us what's going on and none of that's happening, and just why don't you just show us?
Right.
It was a really boring dialogue that Fennec was giving. Still, Boba Fett didn't feel like Boba Fett. We like Mando because he feels like Boba Fett. He acts more like Boba Fett.
Yeah. They made him more Boba Fett than Boba Fett.
And there were still really cheesy moments with the Power Rangers in this
Yeah,
one.
dude,
I
I
don't
agree.
care
I
about
was
those
like-
characters.
Okay, and the thing I'll point out is the Force. The whole Force size that they have. Because they said they needed reinforcements.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was expecting like 10 times that many people.
Yeah.
From
I'm like,
Freetown. Right, yeah.
I'm like, dude,
You got
this is like a
about 20?
backstreet brawl right now. Like,
And-
you're telling me like that these people are matching forces with the Pikes,
Yeah.
and I'm like, there's no way. There's got to be like hundreds upon hundreds of
Well,
pikes.
they shot probably at least 200 pikes in this episode.
Yeah.
And there was like 10 people.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah,
like
right.
15 from Freetown. Or
Also,
whatever.
yeah, those droids that the pikes sent in, they must have went to the stormtrooper school for shooting things, because every single scene that they're running away,
They didn't hit
nobody
anybody.
gets shot.
About
Yeah.
20 feet in front of
I
them.
know.
The
No,
slowest chase.
The only
Right?
thing that they hit in the whole episode was the giant Rancor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they barely hit
And they
it.
barely hit it.
They couldn't hit a
barely made a
broadside
dent.
board.
And the weird thing too was like they were always running away from those things,
Yeah,
and it was going super slow. But they'd cut to the next frame.
yeah, and they were
and
like
it would,
right behind
and it would
them.
be right behind them. I'm like, how did they move that quickly? Did they roll into a ball and catch up to them?
Oh, the force is strong with these
Yeah,
ones.
I was like, what is
They
going
can
on?
teleport.
It was so disconjointed.
I think part of it was they didn't quite know how to edit this one. I think this one fell
Yeah.
apart a little bit in the
Yes.
edit, and it felt like some of those movies where like they got all the pieces, but
Right.
there's just something not right.
Yeah.
It's
They
like,
messed up
like,
the
like
puzzle.
like the
They
edit was
messed up
done.
the
Like
puzzle.
that doesn't feel right. So then they tried this, and then it just felt maybe a little out of order
Yeah.
because there was kind of a couple of action sequences going on at once because they kind of
Right.
split up. You know, you want to give Mando his thing, you want to give Boba their thing, so you kind of had to kick the other people out of the way for a minute.
Yep.
They didn't know what to do with them though. They just keep running,
Yeah.
run.
Also,
Rang.
was it just me, or did the streets were like completely empty? They
Yeah.
felt like
I mean,
there's
it makes
no
sense
civil.
in some ways.
I understand that,
but
but you should be able to see at least some movement in the background, like they're running away from stuff. It just
Right.
felt too like,
desolate.
oh, you know,
That was too much to edit.
like a
Nick.
cutscene, pretty much in a video game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like it's already planned out. You know, just I was expecting like chaos,
right.
like people just fighting everywhere,
yeah, I could see that.
and I don't think they reached that level of magnitude.
Right, it didn't feel like a war. It felt
Magma.
more like a small
It
skirmish.
was a
It
small
was-
skirmish.
it
Well,
was a
and that's
skirmish,
my
yeah.
that's my thing. How big is this city?
It was like
And they were only fighting in like one area.
yeah, we built
it
this.
was
And
like
it's
the
like,
Socias versus Grecians.
How are the
in,
pikes?
Like a
how are
fight.
the how are the
Exactly.
pikes that powerful? And yet there's like this is it. That's all they have.
I think
Is that small force, and they can't destroy them.
Yeah,
I feel like what happened is that the Book of Boba Fett, the actual stuff with the Book of Boba Fett which was really only 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Had like a really small budget.
yeah.
And then, but the 2 episodes of Mandalorian, which maybe they stole from season 3, now Mando's got an expanded budget.
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
Season
You know what I'm
2
saying?
was,
So they took from it a little bit.
It
A
feels
little bit.
like anytime Mando was on the scene, or you know, when it was his 2 episodes, which was this season was
Yeah.
6 and 7, or sorry, 5 and 6.
Yep.
It felt like those were like film quality.
Dude.
Put those in a movie. That was a movie.
went
No.
Episode
wow.
5.
It was an hour and 40
intense.
minutes. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And the
Yeah.
quality of the graphics, the world building they did in those 2 episodes alone. It's like, and then you came back to episode 7,
Back to Boba.
and it felt like we were back on the TV show budget.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
well, we only got like 10 people, but we got to make it look like 100.
right.
We only got like 2 sets, which is like basically a T road. So we got to make it look like they're running down all these streets. And it just kind of felt like that was part of the price they paid when it
Yeah.
came to this massive battle, which actually was not very massive.
It wasn't.
yeah. and-
I was expecting like maybe even some, you know, some shots of the city.
right,
like,
external shots,
fighting.
like drone
Yeah,
shots
yeah.
or something like that above.
They
Yeah,
couldn't even
Anything like
afford a
that would have been
drone.
great. They couldn't afford the drone.
They couldn't afford the drone.
I don't know where they
Huh.
shot this,
I
but they
think-
couldn't afford the drone.
I think they could afford the drone.
Nope.
Right?
But that's the. I'll give them this. The tricky thing about Star Wars and shooting Star Wars and making Star Wars anything
Star Wars.
is there's so much to it.
Yeah.
And if you don't use everything, I think that's also why animation does so well with Star Wars, because you can
Darkness.
darkness. Hello, darkness, my old
Ooh.
copyright strike.
Yeah.
All right. My point though that I was making is why weren't there like, you know, we think of a lot of things. It just felt so small, but there's ships flying around all the time. Why wasn't
Yeah.
there some air battles?
There wasn't
going
anything
on?
going on.
Why wasn't there
Well, yeah, it reminds me
more
of,
people in the mix? They could have done so much and
Yeah.
they just limited it. And I think you're right. I think the budget really wasn't there, which is odd
No.
to me because you're bringing back Boba Fett of all people, which
Yeah.
has a huge following. and they didn't even get him right. So that's part of the problem. And maybe they just knew and gave up halfway through. I don't know. But
They were just like, we're done.
yeah, they just, like Dan said, they really just missed the mark. They missed the mark on so much.
Like stormtroopers.
I think we're really going into the negatives right now. We're going to touch upon all the negatives, and we're going to talk about a few of the positives here a little bit later on. So stick around for that.
For a little while.
But yeah, so negatives, bad dialogue when Fennec was given stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't care about. Did you
really
guys care about any of the characters other than Mando and Boba Fett?
No.
And maybe
Grogu.
Fennec.
Not
Grogu.
really.
Grogu. Chrysanthemum a
Heck,
little bit.
I mean, I cared more about Pelimoto than I cared about like all the other characters.
Because we
Side
knew her
characters.
from
all the other side characters.
'cause we knew her from
she
Mando.
actually had some character development in this series.
yeah.
Well,
which
we
is
knew her
awesome.
from Mando. Is that what you're
Yeah,
talking about?
and we knew her from Mando.
Yeah, so that
So
I'd
she's
say
gotta be good.
It's gotta be
she's
good.
one of the funniest parts.
Yeah.
She was funny, and then so was the Twi'lek.
Yep.
That was some of the best parts of this episode.
That was great.
They were some of the best parts. And, well, I'm already jumping to the positives, but more negatives that we're still talking about.
We're going to hang on these negatives.
We're going negative, and then we're going to go positive, okay? Just hang on. Hang on. There are positives in this episode. I'd say, but one of the biggest negatives that Nick and I, we were talking, everybody was talking about was the world building.
Yeah.
I think we really wanted to see something tied to something else other than the Mandalorian. I know we had the Mandalorian. We had we had Grogu.
Babs Yoder.
Yeah, Luke, which that was cool in Ahsoka for those contained episodes. But I really wanted to see an end credit scene more than what we got. I was hoping that we were going to see like the Pikes were actually in league with Crimson Dawn, or the Pikes were actually told to do this they're running the spice through here because of Thrawn. He's got a plan.
Yeah.
You know, there's something bigger happening in the universe, and we're building towards that. We got all these shows. Why not connect them together? I felt like they really missed the mark. The only thing they really gave us at the end was Boba and Fennec saying, "This isn't the life for us."
Right.
So basically you did this whole series just at the end to realize
This
isn't
want
for
it.
us.
To figure out their
They
career
got what they
path.
wanted, but
We're
it's
gonna
not
leave
what they
now.
wanted.
To figure out
Yeah.
their career path.
Right? Yeah. Oh, you know what? I've tried this for about a week. I'm not good at it, so I'm out of here.
Jabba, you're in charge again.
Jabba,
Oh, wait, you're
it's
dead.
yours.
Yeah.
Well,
So who are they gonna dump it on?
Dump what on?
The city.
that's actually, I was
Dino.
going to touch upon that.
all right. Well,
Probably
maybe we'll
who was
save
in
it.
the back to tank at the end of the episode. I could see
I
that
didn't even
happening.
think about that. That's a good point.
But I don't know, because,
The Marshal.
he's used to small town stuff. I don't know if he'd be up for a whole city.
Freetown may merge with
Freetown!
Mos Espa.
Really need to
Yeah.
change that name.
Cobb Vanth.
I think what they would do is probably make
Yeah.
that one dude. What's the bartender dude? I
Bartender
forget his
dude.
name. They
Oh,
just
yeah.
called him Weequay, didn't he? Didn't they?
The Weequay, but he did have a name.
Yeah, I
she
forget
called
what
him
it
by
was.
name.
But I think they could make him the marshal of
Freetown, and then
Because,
Cobb
I mean,
Vanth
he's
takes
kinda
over.
second in charge. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Cobb Vanth takes over Mos Espa.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
okay. But that begs the question: where do Boba Fett and Fennec Shan go?
They got to. I don't.
Oh,
They
way.
travel around with Mando?
I think so. They
Yeah.
maybe got some other stuff they got to do. Free some people. Be good people somewhere else.
Yeah. I can
think,
see it.
I
I can
think
see
this is one book in the Book of Boba Fett. And if anything that we can turn the negative into positive is that maybe he learned in this that that's not the life he really wanted.
Right.
Maybe he tried so hard to save those people there, and then Cad Bane comes along, and then he's like, "This isn't who you are."
Right.
Maybe
You're a
he realizes
killer.
at the end. You know what I'm saying? And he's
Yeah.
like, "You're right. I need more action. I need to be on the road. I need to be."
On the road again.
I think he's still trying to find out who he is. I think he did
Right.
change after being with the Tuscans, but maybe that change isn't sticking. I don't know.
maybe.
It's hard to say.
How's he gonna get his Rancor around? That's what I want to know.
Right.
That's true.
He's
It's
gonna
true,
need a
yeah.
bigger ship.
He's gonna need Han
Right.
Solo because only Han Solo can travel
Oh, yeah.
legitimately gigantic things.
That's his first. What was it? What did he? What was he driving in? What was it? Han Solo was taking those. Whatchamacallit things. What were those called?
Oh, the
Those squid creatures?
Yeah. What were those called? I don't remember.
I don't even. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's the sequels. But yeah. Let's jump into some positives.
Positive.
I think one of the positives of the episode still was Cad Bane. I still
Yeah.
really like seeing Cad Bane. Anytime
Yeah.
he showed up, that definitely heightened things.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't necessarily like where they went with it in
Yeah,
some ways.
right. I know. It was kind of a letdown. I was like, hey, why'd you do that?
Why did you do that?
Why'd you do it?
Why?
It was unnecessary.
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 Necessary.
But hey, maybe, he's not gone.
Yeah. Do you
Nobody's ever really
think, you
gone.
guys think he's alive or gone?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah. Because they, at the end of that, he gets stabbed by
No.
Boba Fett
Yeah.
during a duel.
No, I think he's actually hanging out. Right?
Yeah.
Is it? What was your question? You said, do you think?
Do you think he
he's-
died?
You think he's
No.
really gone? No.
No, I don't.
Because
think
his
he's
life
really
support
gone.
system was like, beep.
And they definitely
Beep.
made a point to
Beep.
show that.
Yeah.
Yes,
they did.
Cad Bane is never gone.
No.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
he's-
care how old he
He shall
is.
never die.
And-
It's got to be somebody massive to take him out. I mean, Boba
Yeah.
was a pretty good character to take him out, but it's got to be like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Cad
I'm
just-
assuming he's just going to be around in like maybe Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah.
It's going to be a griefer.
I could see him work.
Yeah,
I wanted to see him more working for someone bigger,
Yeah.
like Thrawn
Instead of the Pike
or
Syndicate.
Crimson.
Yeah.
I wanted him to be a part of something bigger.
yeah. That's true. I
Because
wanted.
just working for the Pikes felt so limiting. Like you were saying,
Yeah.
it was small to the universe, small to the world.
Right.
Why is he working for the Pikes of all
Exactly.
people? I mean, I know it's maybe a personal vendetta with like Boba and stuff like that they
Right.
got going on, but they didn't explain that super well.
No.
It was kind of last minute thrown in there in some ways. I mean, not really. Maybe they had a plan, but they should have maybe introduced it earlier.
Right. Yeah.
But
I agree.
yeah, and then I just wanted him to be tied to something bigger. And then the direction they went with him, he just seemed like an not old. I mean, he's really actually quite old
Yeah. He is.
in
Yeah.
the series. He's like, for humans, he's like 90 or something like that.
Yeah.
But he was definitely not acting that way. He was like super spry.
Right.
For,
No, he's
Well,
still fast.
yeah,
Fastest
he's
draw on the
ridiculously
west.
quick.
quick.
fast.
Yeah,
Kapow.
but
I like
You
how
know.
they played that angle where he was definitely what was it? What did it remind me? It reminded me of something where he's saying, "You're just a killer. You'll always be a killer." That's definitely in a lot of like movies and shows where
Yeah.
yeah,
But they should have let off more with that kind of stuff. You
Mhm.
know, touched upon that. It just did not feel deserved that Boba beat him. Because
Right.
we haven't got that Boba until this episode.
Yeah.
yeah.
We have not got the
But-
awesome Boba who takes
Right.
care of business the way
Right.
he's supposed to.
That's true. Well, they took a long time to explain in the first couple episodes his story with the Tuskens. I mean, it was like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And then they resolved the Tusken series, if you think about it.
Mhm.
Then they kind of threw in a fluff episode 4, which was, I don't exactly even remember at this point.
Getting his ship.
Yeah, getting kind of
Yep.
establishing himself as Boba and then realizing, oh, we are going to war. That was that whole setup,
Right.
which was basically just episode 4 and 5. So it was like Tuskens for 3. Then it was basically 2 episodes of like fighting and establishing his perimeter on Tatooine.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
okay, I've come into my own. This is me. And now, but we really only got 2 episodes with him being Boba Fett. Meanwhile, we
Yeah.
got the most boss 2 episodes with Mando. And so it's kind of like an asterisk, I guess you could say. They
Mhm.
gave us some stories with Boba. You know what I mean? But they didn't give us we don't have like 15 episodes or anything because
Right.
the story wasn't that deep. I think they just kind of dipped our toes for like fans that knew and loved Boba. You know, if you think of the greater Star Wars universe,
Right.
Right.
it's a tricky thing to do to bring such
tricky
a
little bugger.
massive character back.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're done with him. I think he's going to come back hopefully more boss mode than the
Yeah.
Book of
I
Boba.
honestly I hope they don't keep doing this season after season. Like he
Yeah.
finds something else that he could be good at, and then by the end of that season he's like, nah, not this one either. That would it
Yeah.
would just be a waste of time. I'd be like, what are you doing?
Is this one of those situations where did we need to see this? I'm
I don't
asking
think
myself
so.
this question now. Would it have been better if we didn't get these episodes explaining Boba, making this turn, making this... I mean, couldn't he have said it in one of the episodes of Mando? Just, I'm trying a new leaf. I'm trying to do something different.
Right.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
all he technically really needed to say, you
Mhm.
know?
I
Yeah.
think it's hard to say because when the Disney Plus people are making their plans, they're like, we got Boba Fett going on, right? I'm sorry, we got Mando going on.
Yeah.
Huge success in season 1. Now we got
Season 2 even more,
Boba
I'd say.
Fett or Mando again. Huge success in season 2,
Mhm.
opening up the world with Luke at the end, with Grogu, with Ahsoka, with the mention of Thrawn, right?
And Boba.
And then Boba Fett, right?
Well, Boba was one of the first big ones that we heard.
Right.
So
we were like,
I guess the way I see it is that this is kind of like Boba or Mando season 3.
Yeah.
But,
I would agree.
But
Yeah.
we just took a detour to Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And they call it the Book of Boba Fett, but it's still actually Mandalorian.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because that's how we got to where we are with Boba Fett. We caught up to it. We got a couple flashbacks, but it's still just the Mandalorian
Mm-hmm.
because that was the only thing that held this season together.
It really was.
Yeah.
And like what you said, did we really need to see this? Besides those 2 episodes of The Mandalorian in them, I don't think we did.
Yeah.
So I
I
think,
think they could have done a lot better
Or they could have condensed it, I think, is what could have been
into
better.
like 1 episode.
Yeah, a couple episodes. It's just I
guess-
feel like they were trying to draw this out, but they just didn't nail the points. They didn't give us what we really needed to know
Right.
of why he was changing. Why is he being this way?
Yeah.
Why is he not the Boba? It felt like a Han Solo situation all over again in
Yeah.
a lot of ways. You know how Han in the movie
you mean Solo, a Star Wars
Solo,
story?
a Star Wars story, didn't really feel like Han, but it was for a reason. It was because it was pre.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of worked in some ways. I still prefer
Right.
that over this. And they were teasing Boba Fett season 1 of Mando and season 2. Then he comes in. They make him pretty awesome in season 2 because he feels like Boba Fett in season 2. He
Right.
doesn't say much. He blows up things and kills everybody,
Right.
and then we go from that to this. And if you're going to give us Boba Fett, it needs to be not
Epic.
lame in
Yeah.
some ways. I'm not. It wasn't all lame. There were cool parts.
Yeah.
It just felt again like a fan film / It felt a little fan film like.
Yeah.
And just not tight. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's almost
Wasn't
like they
enough action. It wasn't enough. Just
Yeah.
give us the hits after hit. I
yeah.
wouldn't mind if you condensed it to 4 episodes and you just made it punch us in the face
Dude,
every episode.
literally,
Make it epic.
the Tuscan storyline. That would have been perfect.
Just do that.
That's all you have to show.
The Tuscan storyline.
Like
You
when
li-
he's with the Tuscans.
Right.
That was like literally the best part of like the first 4 episodes.
Right. I
Was
will
him
always
with the
yeah.
I wanted more of that
Yeah.
Yeah.
and less of current events.
Well, and we needed that because up till now we saw Boba Fett and Mando, but we're
Mhm.
like, how did he get there?
Yeah.
How is he alive?
exactly.
Did he escape the Sarlacc pit? Casual fans casual fans all know who Boba Fett is.
Yeah.
But super fans are like, we need to know how and what
Mhm.
happened to him, and that I think is cool.
But-
That we got that sequence of him with the Tuscans,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I don't. It's like, but could they have done that without? Because you're like, give us the big hits. We had all the hits with Mando. I'm thinking if they had started off with that with Boba Fett, right? Because isn't
Yeah.
that what Favreau and Filoni were kind of
They
like?
wanted to do that first, I think.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Would
so
that
then
have
they
been?
were-
Would
they
that
were-
have worked?
They said they couldn't. I think somebody else higher up said no to Boba Fett. So then they were like, well, what if we create
made their
this
own
new-
offshoot,
they
yeah.
do, and they basically made Boba Fett as a different character. So they
Mhm.
did, I think, what they were originally intending for Boba Fett in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But then it was such a success. They were like, well, who else can we bring in on this? Maybe we should have gone with your original idea.
Mm-hmm.
And they do it, but then it's kind of off, and they had to
Yeah.
make them different from
Yeah.
Din. And I'm still, in a lot of ways, I feel like they wanted to explain that stuff, but they could have. I just feel like they could have done it in such a cooler
Yeah.
way. I think even from the get go, they didn't even really give us a good explanation of how he got out of the Sarlacc pit.
Right. He just
To be honest,
crawls out.
That's true. That
just
was
like,
the most succinct
How
part of
long
the
was
whole-
he down there?
they didn't say how long he was down there, which you don't absolutely need to know.
Right.
But that's that is the one thing we've been speculating on for years.
Yeah.
Everybody has been speculating on
Yeah,
that. And they didn't
exactly.
even give us a great answer. All they showed us was, oh, okay, he found a stormtrooper, plug in the oxygen. I'm still alive. Sweet. This sucks. I'm hurting. Flamethrower, crawl literally through the sand.
Yeah.
Okay, so how
5
did
minutes.
you get through there? I think the Legends version is better than this. I think
Mhm.
that one's better. He uses his jetpack to blow himself. So he blows up the Sarlacc as he blows himself out of the Sarlacc pit and lands on the sand. That makes more sense to me than, oh, I got some oxygen. Flamethrower, which we know doesn't even kill the thing because they show
Flamethrower.
that later, which was dumb.
Yeah.
And so then he literally crawls through sand. How did he crawl through the sand?
Right.
You know
I
how
don't-
difficult that is?
Yeah.
How do you crawl through sand?
You really you can't
You can't.
because
It just falls.
into you.
Again, so,
Well,
unless it's
the
a cavity
Sarlacc
straight
pit-
below it, maybe.
The Sarlacc pit is kind of like the pit that they went into in The Princess Bride.
The
and
pit of
he
despair.
definitely crawled out of that with the help of a rope.
A rope.
Right.
He had something to
Yeah, I
pull
guess that's
himself
true.
out of. So even that
Maybe.
logic doesn't make sense.
I
I'm
don't
getting real annoyed by this season right
Real
now.
annoyed.
I think this ending was not
Well,
enough for me.
I don't know.
Really,
I'm sorry. I was just
like
think-
the overall thought I have is I don't think they knew what they wanted to do for this show.
I think
I think they were just spitballing ideas, and they're like, "Yeah, let's go with this. This seems cool."
I think there was too much of a
Favreau-
committee.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Favreau and Filoni are like, we got Boba Fett, or I'm sorry, we got good grief, we got Mando figured out, and then somebody's like, no, we got to have Boba Fett, like a
Right.
book, a section with Boba Fett, and we can
Oh my gosh,
explain
and
how he
we-
got out of the
We
Sarlacc
gotta have
pit,
the.
and that's it.
That's
And they're
that's
like,
all
well,
I got.
Well, we got to do more than this.
And the next
Sarlacc-
person's like, "Oh yeah, we need Power Ranger esque
Yeah.
people to Star Wars Power Rangers."
we could introduce some new people, but
And
bring
then
it home with Mando.
Filoni and Favreau were like, "Whoa, why?
Yeah.
no reason, just do it."
Well, that's why Filoni and Favreau didn't direct those. But I
Right.
bet you Filoni and Favreau were there when they did Mando or the episode 5
Yeah.
and 6.
Definitely.
And you could tell in the editing room they were there, and you
Oh,
could
yeah.
tell that they're like, well, this is our baby.
right.
We created Mando. We like Boba Fett, but we're working on Mando season 3.
I agree. I
Yep.
think that was part of it. Yeah.
So
I had another point I
yeah,
was
so
gonna
so
say,
back
but-
to the things that happened in this episode, right? I mean, we
yeah.
got
So all right. Sorry, we went on a little bit of a tangent there for things that we just
well,
did
because
not
we
like.
basically went into the global season review
Yeah,
and
we
why-
basically did.
because we just are reacting to it.
Yeah, let's touch upon the positives of this episode. Sorry. So,
Positives.
I think one of the best parts of this whole episode for me, actually, when it comes to hard hitting action that was cool,
Uh-huh.
was him riding on the Rancor.
yeah,
I
that's
think
great.
the Rancor scenes in this episode were cool. Were
Yeah.
definitely
Fresh.
fun to see. I like seeing a live action Rancor.
Yeah.
Going to town.
It was
on
pretty
things.
cool.
And him riding on it was
Pretty
really
cool,
cool to
pretty
see.
Which you called kind of when he first
Right,
showed
yeah.
up.
Yeah, that's true.
We're
like, dude, he's
see
gonna
him
ride it.
riding.
Yeah, when that
The
it kind
Rancor.
of made sense. It was like, why would they pull a Rancor?
Yeah.
And he talked about riding a Mythosaur and stuff like that.
Right.
Or I've rode bigger. So it's just comes in. But
Mhm.
I totally forgot about that until you heard the sounds and I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I
Jurassic
totally
Park.
I know. I heard the sounds and I was like, "Oh, right, he's got that thing."
Which makes sense.
But no Danny Trejo. Where'd
I know,
Danny
I
Trejo?
wanted to
Yeah,
say
there was
Danny
no
Trejo.
Danny Trejo. That's what I was saying. I'm like, I figured at the end there when he was going all ape crazy at the
Yeah.
end, I thought Danny Trejo was gonna come out or I was waiting for the scene where, like in Return of the Jedi,
Yeah.
when he dies and then Trejo comes out, he's like, oh,
He's
no."
Yeah, he's like,
crying.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. But
That would have been hilarious. I would have started laughing.
I was
I
waiting
would've,
for that.
yeah.
But
I'm
obviously,
like, "Oh, it's a callback."
I'm glad that he didn't meet his demise.
It echoes.
It was pretty good. I mean, they spent a lot of money on that CG because that was pretty good.
Yeah.
All in the sunlight, and
Mm-hmm.
that takes a lot of directing to be like,
Yeah.
okay, he's over here,
Make that look
Duck.
good.
jump
Right.
in. I mean, that's so
Yeah.
much time. That's why the scenes where the people are running down the street was probably like the B director.
Is the
Like,
B-roll.
just go get him like running down the
Right.
street a couple of times. I
Right.
don't know. They're gonna be being chased by some droids.
And also, nobody dies. That's still
Well, some of the
it's a problem.
mods
some of the
did.
Vespas died.
Which-
right, but
I mean-
I'm saying when they're running away from the droids.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
it's like
not
a
a single
shooting fish in
one
a
got-
barrel, and it's like, oh wow, I guess my targeting system's not
Yeah.
Yeah.
calibrated right now. Why do I
Plot
keep
armor.
shooting 5 feet in front of me?
Yeah, plot armor.
Yeah.
Right.
It made no sense.
It
That
didn't.
was annoying.
Well, and then Matt said when they did that side little like, we'll distract him by going up on the roof
Right.
and we will shoot at them and then that will distract them and then that will make no sense because it doesn't matter because
Yeah.
Mando's going to come and save the day anyway or
Right.
whoever it was that came in on the or Boba on the
Boba.
Rancor.
Oh,
They
yeah.
went up there
Yeah,
to
they
shoot
went,
down.
yeah,
Right.
Matt.
And then they got up there, and then she explained to her what they were gonna do.
Yeah, right.
Like-
It's like,
And then-
Why'd
we're
you-
gonna shoot stuff.
and
went
then
up
what
there
question
just-
did she ask her? Remember that, Matt?
Shoot. I don't.
Remember she asked her, she's
Oh.
like, can you
Oh yeah.
Oh, can you pick off some of the targets or
Soldiers.
something?
It's like,
soldiers. Like you
what
went
else
up
is
there
she
to
supposed to
that.
do?
You gonna stand and stare at them?
Right. Hold an umbrella, get you out of the Tatooine sun.
Over here.
Right.
Shoot at us.
Help! Please
Well,
help.
and I love the fact that they just kept shooting at the shields.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
It's
hitting
like,
it.
The whole
have
time
you
they're
guys
like,
never
"Woo,
seen
woo,
shields
woo, woo,
before?
woo, woo." I
Right.
think one of
So
these
it's
are
like,
gonna get through.
One of these times, I'm just gonna keep. So anyway, I
I'm
started
wearing 'em
blasting.
down.
Anyway, I start blasting.
What were the names of the droids in the prequels that looked like that, but the smaller version? Remember that?
Yeah.
The
They had a name.
Droidicas?
Droidicas.
Yeah, there was like a big version of that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
she called
they
them the
didn't roll.
Scorpex or something.
Scorpeca?
Yes, something like that.
Something.
Shoot, I forget
Yeah,
the name. Do we
something.
have it written down?
Something of the sorts.
Something
Maybe.
of the sorts.
Maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe,
Scorpneck.
Scorpneck
Scorpneck.
droids.
Scorpionic.
Nice fact.
Scorpneck.
Scorpneck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Big
fact
Scorpneck.
checker. Fact
With the
checker
shields.
pulls
The
through.
shields were pretty cool though. I do like the shields.
Yeah, but I mean,
They never
it's
figured-
like the whole cast forgot they were in Star Wars for a second.
Yeah.
They're like, come on, I gotta. Why aren't these shots landing?
I think they were
What's this force field around them?
well, there's that couple of episodes in Rebels and Clone Wars where they wear down the shields because the
Yeah.
energy source that's powering the shields eventually gives up. So I
Yeah.
think they were thinking, well, maybe it'll eventually.
I think they have to overload it, really. They
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to put such a barrage on it that it'll overload.
Yeah.
And they
But those
didn't
are
have
ray
the
shields.
numbers for that.
Those
Ray
are some of the strongest shields in Star Wars.
And
Yeah.
why do they always give everything like an eye that's like the most vulnerable part? Like, here's the target
Right.
right here.
Yeah.
Here's the target. Shoot
Hit
it.
Hit it on the nose.
Right.
Was that callback? Episode 1, Phantom
Hit it
Menace.
on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of plays into that, but also it felt like Terminator in a lot of ways. Those,
Yeah, those things, they look like Terminator.
Which is funny because there was another scene in
In
the
the-
Mando
5, yeah.
5 where they were
Yeah.
the Night of 1,000 Tears,
Yep.
and it's totally Terminator.
Yeah, you're right.
K2SO droids
Yeah.
just
Yep.
blasting Mandalorians.
Also, that is how you do exposition right there.
yeah,
You talk about it and
Oh,
then
yeah.
you show it happening. You don't just talk about it just to talk about it.
that dialogue was so much better. It was
Right.
it was
Yeah.
painful listening to the dialogue that Fennec was giving.
Yeah.
Like I was
Yeah.
just like,
Oh my god. The
this-
one
I
part
fell
that's-
asleep and halfway through you talking
Yeah.
about what's
Help
happening.
help the Power
Yeah.
Rangers.
And she's like, "Oh, what did she say? Kindness or something?
oh,
Or
manners.
Manners. I like it." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Why did you say
And the
that?"
part
That
where
was the
she jumped.
dumbest dialogue I've ever heard.
I think she said it earlier on to that chick when they first met or
That
something
she didn't
like
have
that.
manners.
Yeah, but see,
maybe.
if it's not that significant, that line's going to be wasted.
it's
and
like-
it was on me because I didn't remember that callback.
Because nobody cared. Again,
No.
Right. Yeah.
And
it
then when
was
she
like, oh, they're really gonna love this line,
Right.
as we said
Oh,
earlier. and it's
So
gonna be-
edgy.
It was so good.
Well,
Right.
maybe it just didn't flavor for
Oh,
us. Maybe there's somebody
respect.
out there that got that.
Maybe.
maybe.
Like,
Well,
Sequel
we're all
lovers.
dudes. Maybe the ladies are like, I get it. I'm saying this. Maybe.
Yeah, I know. You're trying. I get what you're saying.
Don't
there
defend
definitely could
them.
be.
There's a
Dan.
lot of-
Maybe
there's a
some
They
lot
know
of-
younger.
what they did wrong.
There could
No,
be
I'm
some
not
younger
bailing
fi-
them out. I'm not bailing them out. I'm just
No,
saying
yeah.
there's 4 people out there that were like, oh, manners.
You're playing
Right?
devil's
And it's the
advocate.
people who played the Power Rangers. They're like, "Oh yeah."
No, in the
Maybe
editing
some younger
room, in the
viewers.
writing room, you're like, oh, we can call back to that part where she said the thing. And then when they wrote it out, they didn't realize that nobody would care about those characters. So
Yeah.
they wrote it out and they went through it, filming it, and then they realized that nobody cares about those
So you think
characters.
at the end of filming all these episodes, they were like, "Man, this is a complete dumpster fire. I don't know how we're going to recover financially from this."
I think they were freaked out of their brains when it came to
Yeah.
filming The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I'll say,
That was a big risk.
I really think this reminds us of
I know what
The
you're going to
sequel
say.
trilogy.
the
Yeah.
sequls.
Yep.
Yeah, it did.
Doesn't it? I mean,
It
It-
kind
it
of does
does.
because it's like Boba Fett, a cool character that everybody loves, even though he's got like what was it, like 5 lines of
yeah,
dialogue in the original
whole
trilogy?
original
They
trilogy.
got to make him look weak and stupid
Yeah,
because kill your heroes, kids.
that's kind of what
That's
they
the
were doing.
message they're portraying.
Yep.
Because they're dumb. They're
Right.
it doesn't fit our agenda,
narrative
our narrative.
in a lot of ways. I mean, he was
Yeah.
all right in a lot of ways, but it felt so sequel-like because it
Yeah.
just felt like an offshoot of what was once great, and
Yeah.
they just totally diverted from
For
it.
me, what felt like the sequels is that the sequels are so darn clean. And the people on Tatooine and their
The
sparkly
Vespas.
Vespas.
Oh, yeah.
The Vespa
right?
people so much felt
Yeah.
like
There's
something
like-
that would fit
there's-
perfectly. in
Dude,
the
they
sequel
look
Every
trilogy.
like-
time they're fighting like a war supposedly, and like their hair
They're
was
squeaky
perfect,
clean.
Right?
and
They
like they
look
had the
like-
same facial expression, like the whole
Yeah.
time, and then like their Vespas were clean. They got shot once, but I don't think he had any dust on him after he fell in the dirt.
No,
Right.
it's like, oh, so clean.
Maybe that's
They
just
look like they're straight out of the 80s. Is what I was gonna say.
80s,
Yeah.
80s Vespa gang.
It was just too. It wasn't Star Wars
It
enough
was misplaced.
for me. It was
right.
It was
Star
totally
Wars.
misplaced.
That's why we like Dustin. You like Solo.
yeah.
You like maybe I like Rogue One.
Rogue
One is the most Star Wars looking,
Right,
of all the
because
ones,
it's
I'd say.
dirty. It's lived in.
Dirty,
it's not
grimy,
clean. Mos
stinky.
Espa's a dirty, sandy
Right.
place. I like the look of almost like the Pueblo style buildings, and like it reminded me of the Alamo when they were like pinned down
Yeah.
with all the people around there. I
Right.
like that look, but then you put these like super clean, like bright pink,
Yeah,
bright green. Just was weird.
Power Ranger vehicles.
Power Ranger vehicles.
Yeah, but they more. I think they would fit in more on like Coruscant
Definitely.
because it's all one
Yeah.
big city.
yeah, that
would
makes
make-
sense.
that
It
would
was
make
like-
so much more sense.
It was
They
like
thought of
city
ways.
folk living in the country. It's like they stick out like a sore thumb.
And they tried to make them like city folk, but you can't really make city folk on a desert planet
Right,
like that
yeah.
unless there's no sand in that city. You got to
Yeah.
get rid of all the sand, make
It's
actual
rough and
streets,
coarse.
make it like a
gets
big
everywhere.
city, not like what you're describing, Dan. As
Yeah.
what did you say? Some of the buildings were.
The Pueblo style.
Pueblo
style,
style,
yeah.
like
It
Mesa.
doesn't feel like a big city that they would fit in.
Right.
Yeah, they felt the most like a sequel trilogy. Like somebody on a committee was like,
oh, make them
"This will
edgy.
really,
This will
They
really get
were.
the kids
this will
going.
really
Get 'em!"
jive with the people that were trying to get into Star Wars
Right.
now."
Well, even think of that,
Cool
that
kids.
scene
Just-
at the beginning where he's like, "We should get back to the, what is this castle or whatever?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, the fort.
Jabba's palace.
Get
the
back
Yeah,
to
and
Ja-
I'm
get
like-
back to Ja- okay, yeah, that makes sense.
He's
He's
like-
got his
he's like-
defenses. He's got his ship there. Go get your
He's like,
stinking
no.
ship and defend. He's
Yeah,
like- and then
where
the
was his
kid,
ship?
and then the
Right.
punk kids walk in because he had
He's
to go.
like, no, don't do that.
He had to go all the
'Cause
way
I'm
back
cool.
to get the.
Yeah,
Now, yeah.
the Rancor.
If you would have done to begin with,
He was,
Rancor
like-
could have been there. And
We could have avoided so
somebody
much
get
death.
in my ship.
That
no.
didn't even happen.
And what?
but then the kids were like, "We should stay here."
we should
Yeah.
listen
Yeah.
to the teenagers.
And then he's like,
Okay, we'll stay. And I'm like, dude, you're not.
You've
like,
toyed with my
Boba
heart.
Fett would be like, yeah, okay, see you later.
Well, and then I like the funny dude. What's the funny dude's name?
The Twillick.
Yeah,
I forget. Oh,
Yeah,
Major
he had
some
Domo-
good
or
moments
the
in
Major
this.
Domo.
The Major
but
Domo.
the combination of the Major Domo with the kids, and the kids are like, "We should stay here," and then the Major Domo was like, and then he jumped in
Mhm.
over Boba, and Boba Fett at this point has no identity. He's like, "All right, kids, you tell me what to do."
Right.
And,
yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Right.
Major Domo, you tell me what to do. Obviously, he used him in that funny part where
See?
he hang him out to dry, and then they did have a cool reveal. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. See, another one of those got to undermine original
Yeah.
trilogy characters
Make him-
because they're stupid.
Yeah.
Plus, is the palace? That's not right in town.
no.
It's
They could
way
have
out
That's
of
what I'm
avoided so
saying.
much
Right?
destruction.
It's like
in
literally
town.
just send them, make them go to your palace
Oh,
where it's way more defensible.
yeah.
And they don't have to destroy the city that they love so much.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the hilarious thing of that horrible exposition she gives us
Right.
means absolutely nothing because they got past literally everybody
Yep, literally all
without
of them.
Right.
anybody noticing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they
the-
almost all die. So there was no point to any of that.
Nope.
This is why this is a sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Because the sequel trilogy, nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
This episode, nothing makes sense. Maybe 2 or 3 things make sense in this whole episode, and that was probably done by Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, nothing
was-
makes sense.
No.
And that was
That's why
only because they were
we
guarding
literally
him.
here in this room could come up with a better storyline for Boba Fett than all the people that made this series. At
Yeah.
least the storyline. I'm not saying
Yeah.
execution. We don't have the money. We don't have necessarily the expertise that a lot of people
Right.
do. But I'm just saying our story would be better than what they came up with.
Yeah.
We would have made it more epic. We wouldn't have added the Power Rangers. Or if we did, we would have made them true to the characters on Tatooine from
Yeah.
where they're from or explained it somehow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not in a dumb exposition dump.
Yeah.
That's why this
We
it
just
sucks.
we just officially
Mhm.
we just officially turned the bad into good because
Yep.
now we can laugh about it.
Yep.
Because now we realized what just happened in front of our very eyes.
Yep.
And I think we're a little disappointed because we wanted 5 and 6 to continue into 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the only way to do that was to not bring Boba back.
Right.
No, I know.
and
I
they
think
had to
no.
end
Really?
Boba's
No.
season. They had to end the season.
No, I'll give you a better way to end this show.
Please.
Okay. So
Here we go.
you have the Pike fight. You still have the Pike fight, but it doesn't need to be the way they shot it. You still have
Long
Freetown
drawn
come in.
out.
Long drawn out. It was too much. It was
Yeah.
too much. And I think the Pikes should have pulled out more of a big gun other than those droids.
Right.
They're just
And they
were
send-
kind of lame.
They just send 2 of them.
Yeah.
It's like,
Right.
dude, send all of
I
them.
guess they're expensive. I'll give them that. They're probably super expensive droids.
It's a criminal syndicate.
They're moving
They
know.
can
spice.
afford it.
But-
They're moving spice.
Right.
Dune.
Spice.
On spice.
Yeah. So, but what you needed to do in this episode was tie it to the bigger galaxy.
Yeah.
You should have had Cad Bane working for Thrawn and or the Crimson Dawn. Whoever you guys got in the background, we know there's somebody. If you're, I hope.
Yeah, you better.
I hope,
We better
because that
hope.
will make this so much better. If you don't, that's a dumb move, and you should have done it because that would have been a smart play, and you would get so much attention. You would have Avengers style. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a formula that works that you guys own.
Mhm.
Do it.
It looks
Literally,
like, and it looked like they were heading there. That's why we were like,
Yeah.
oh man,
And-
they got to give us Thrawn. They got, even if it's just
Thanos shows up.
even if it's just
Well,
a teaser. Give
I'm
us some,
not
serious.
Thanos, but that end credit scene, or even
Should've-
before that,
right.
you know who should have said something? Cad Bane should have said, I've already got a job, and he's way bigger than this dumb planet," or
Right.
something like that.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I'm
Yeah.
just here to weed out the potential threats to the bigger plot. You know, something like that. All you gotta do is throw something like that out there.
Yeah.
So that means, oh, there's more to this. That would give Boba and Finnick a reason to leave Tatooine at the end.
Yeah.
That would have given them a reason.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to figure out what's going
Well,
on
that's-
behind the scenes. Who's
Right.
controlling the Pikes?
Yeah.
If the Pikes aren't in charge, you know, that could have blown this whole last episode. You still could have had an epic fight with the Rancor. I would say keep most of the Rancor scenes.
yeah.
Maybe that's why they brought the droids in, just so that they had that.
The
But the
Rancor
Rancor could have
could.
been swatting ships out of the air. The Rancor
Yeah.
could have been doing other kinds of damage, eating some people here and there. It would have been cool.
Right.
You know, you could have worked this out such a better way, but they really should have expanded the universe. They should have had more with maybe Din and where they were going to go. Because
Yep.
they gave us nothing. They literally just gave us a fun little scene,
Right.
but it
They
meant
didn't
nothing
even,
to
yeah,
us.
they didn't even have to kill off all the bosses there at the end. They could have all gotten away with Cobb like in a ship at the last second. You know
yeah,
what
and
I'm saying?
retreated. And you know what? They
Retreated and-
came out of hyperspace.
Yeah.
And there's frickin' whatchamacallit,
Right.
the ship that Thrawn, the Chimera.
The
It could have been the
yeah.
Chimera, or it could have been Crimson Dawn. They could have showed up and
Right.
basically retreated back to the mothership
Yeah.
in a lot of
Mhm.
ways. But they did none of that. It
No.
went nowhere
Yeah.
And that's the point I made is like, where are they? If they do a season 2, where are they gonna go?
for Boba Fett.
Like, what's
Exposition
gonna?
dump.
What's yeah?
There's nowhere
gonna
to
be
go,
like,
yeah.
oh, this guy's showing up. And you're gonna be like, who's that? Be like, something completely new. Be like, why?
Yeah.
You already have enough. Like, you don't need something completely new. You need to connect it.
This is getting me worked up and angry like it did for the
Sequel
sequels.
trilogy.
Because it's a character I like.
I
Boba
would've-
Fett is a character
yeah.
I like. He deserves so much more than what they gave him. I
Yeah.
think that's what's really annoying me about this
Look
whole
at how
thing.
they massacred my boy.
Yeah, the potential was there. They had
Yeah.
everything. They didn't even have to do that much.
No.
That's why the sequel trilogy, they had everything. And they went in
It
the
was
complete wrong direction.
Thanksgiving.
It was like, okay,
and then
all
you
you
get
had to do
McDonald's.
Yes, exactly.
There
you
you
had
go.
to do like 3 things to make it epic. You did none of those.
Right.
And you gave us 3 negative things that we all hated.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Right.
You really landed this ship.
Yeah.
Take the keys away from them.
I wish on that bombshell.
Yeah,
that bombshell.
sorry.
I
just-
think they it's true though. I mean, you're not wrong. I think what happened is they just crashed. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But they tried. They tried.
Too
And,
many chefs, not enough. warriors.
however, like Dustin
Yeah.
said, that whole kind of like mishmash final episode battle, etc.,
Mhm.
could have been made right with just a little touch of bigger universe building. So they didn't
Yeah.
close the book; they just blew it open, just
Yeah.
like they did when we saw Luke, just like they did when we saw Grogu again, just like they did when we saw Ahsoka again. Because they're out there dealing with bigger stuff in the world,
right.
the rest of the universe. It wasn't small scale Tatooine; it's big scale Star Wars universe. So I almost would have rather Cad Bane coming to get Boba Fett to join him,
Right.
Yeah, that
go
would've been
with
a cooler
him
moment.
to
Or
join
maybe-
with Thrawn. He's like scouting. He's trying
Yeah.
to get some people, instead
Yeah.
of
Or
like,
maybe Boba will recruit Cad Bane if he's still alive.
I don't know. I don't see Cad Bane and Boba working together.
yeah.
Right.
I just think there's too much of a. I mean, obviously, he
But-
just got stabbed in the chest by the dude. I don't
But
know.
what
They
if-
didn't like each other before?
What if
They're
though?
tight. They're
Season,
bros.
Now they're bros.
They're bros.
It's like, you got me.
He's like,
Got me.
now we're even.
You're right. Honor is better than just straight murder.
the
Right,
problem
yeah.
is, I think
Who killed who?
Who killed who?
they said
It's
from the
funny
beginning,
'cause he
though,
says-
it's gonna be 7 episodes.
Boba says, I don't work for murderers. And then,
He
you know,
murders somebody.
Cad Bane says that line. Where is it? Is it up there?
Oh yes,
He says that line.
Okay, this is one of the best parts. This is probably one of the best parts of the whole
Yeah,
episode.
read the line. I don't
Yeah,
have it on. I don't.
should-
It's
oh,
not up there.
All right. This is probably one of the funniest and best lines of
Yeah.
the whole show, which definitely took us by surprise. And that
Up.
Cad Bane said it. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
you read
right.
it because
It's
you can do it in his voice.
I
It's
mean,
right
I'll
here,
try.
right here on the
He's
sheet.
gonna do. Oh, he's got it. He's got
Okay.
it. There it is.
Well, and Boba says, I don't work for murderers. And then Cad Bane's like, if that's not the Quanta calling the stifling slimy.
Who thought of that line?
And it's so funny because he says that, and he's working for the Pikes,
yeah.
who are also murderers.
Yeah.
Yes.
They straight up murdered the Tuskens and, you know, framed the Nikto
Well,
speed bikers.
because. Yeah.
I understand where he's coming from when he says, you
Well,
know,
because he's saying that Boba's a straight killer.
right. But
And he's working
then
for killers,
Cad,
but
Cad
he's
Bane's working for the Pike Syndicate, who are also killers.
but he accepts that he's a killer.
Right.
He wants Boba to be a killer like
Right.
him. So
Well,
that's why he's saying.
And that's where
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, right? I think that's what I got out of it anyway.
I'm still.
It's still an odd
It's,
line,
yeah, it is.
but I like it.
What-
That fits more in Star Wars
What's
than
your angle?
most of this episode.
well, and I like
Yeah.
how Cad Bane was stirring up the emotion again in Boba.
Right.
And I think that's what he was there to do. You're
Yeah.
like, yo, man, you're not some soft old guy anymore. You're a killer still, and you
Yeah.
need to stop talking and just do some fighting.
Well-
and so Boba's like, I'm going to do some fighting. And then Fennec's like, no.
No,
You've
no,
changed.
no, no,
Although
no.
Fennec has always been the one that's like, let's go take him out.
Right.
Right.
Why are you being soft? And now
Right.
all of a sudden she's flipped.
Well,
She's like, maybe we shouldn't do it now.
I don't think she's necessarily saying soft. I think she was just saying he's getting you emotional, which when you're emotional, you don't
Yeah.
think straight. And I think
Right.
that's what he was doing. And I think that's why Fennec was trying to call him back from that. Basically, be like, don't do this fight emotional right now because you'll
Right.
just get beat up.
Also, do you
Right.
think Cad was just trying to rile up Boba Fett with that
Yeah.
line about? Because, you know, he says he couldn't. The only thing he couldn't figure was that he didn't know what Boba Fett's angle was. What was Cad Bane's angle? Why did he tell
It's just a
him?
job.
Why did he tell him that the Pikes killed the Tuskens?
'Cause he
Other than to rile him up.
right, and Cad doesn't really care.
Right, he
about
doesn't
the
care.
Pikes. He doesn't care
Obviously.
if the Pikes get taken out as long as he gets paid.
He gets paid.
So for him, it's just a job. But
Yeah.
that's why he couldn't figure why Boba Fett was
Right.
helping all these people. But the other thing is, he's trying to be a daimyo, which makes way more money than a
Yeah.
bounty hunter does. So that's an angle,
Daimyo.
you know. But he's trying to do it with honor, which is, I guess,
In
is
the
what he learned
name of
from the
honor.
Tuskens.
Yeah.
So but
Can
yeah.
Boba be a daimyo? He has to live there to be the daimyo, doesn't
See,
he?
I don't think he's gonna stay there, because they even like at the end of the episode, they're like, "This isn't working out."
They're doing
Pretty
some
much, it's
soul
like
searching.
we went like we've been here like a week, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not into it. My heart's not in it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they.
You know,
freed
we
the
had that
people.
fight, and I really had to
All right.
come to Jesus meet.
So let me take us back for 1 second, and then we'll
Yeah.
call it a day.
Take us back.
Yeah, we got.
take us back.
Because Grogu shows up in the X-wing.
Yeah, that was
We
a
were
good scene.
like interesting, and then we realized and this is going into Mandalorian season 3
Yep.
now.
So he chose the Mando.
He
over
chose
becoming
the
a Jedi.
Mando over becoming a Jedi.
Yeah.
So does that mean we're done with Luke for a while? Does that mean
I think he'll-
Grogu and Mando are going to be back together in season 3? Back
Yeah.
to is that
Back-
what that means?
back
Back to your
together.
word.
Yeah. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, they're gonna be. Well, I mean, they leave together in the end of this episode, so obviously they're gonna be back. What do you think?
Where do
What do you
they
think's
go?
gonna happen in Mandalorian season
Or is he
3?
taking? I guess what I'm saying is he just taking him back to Luke.
No,
No, I don't think
Okay.
I
so.
think they're gonna stick it out. I think
Awesome.
he's gonna go back to Mandalore and explore that
they gave us
venture.
nothing though. I mean,
Yeah.
why didn't they give
He's
us?
gonna go marry
anything?
Bo-Katan. Make Mandalorian babies.
She's a lot older than he is.
Okay, he's not gonna marry Bo-Katan. He's gonna find a
But not
nice,
that you can't
nice
have
young
it.
Mandalorian woman.
I think
Make Mandalorian babies.
I
gonna
think
live
they
happily
didn't
ever
give us.
ever
Grogu's
after.
going to be an uncle.
Grogu's gonna turn to the dark side,
Oh, shit.
kill
gosh.
all the
Turn into a
Mandalorians.
rancor.
Right? Turn into a Rancor. He's gonna end up riding Boba Fett's Rancor somehow, some way.
He hit the snooze button on that thing.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did. Snoozed it right out.
I think they didn't give us everything because
They don't know what
They don't know
They don't know what they're doing.
because
They're like,
they're
"Guys."
really gonna blow it up in
Right.
Mandalorian season 3.
I hope so.
Man, I wish they'd given us like for sure it's coming out next year.
I
but
like, dude, even a Thrawn
that's what I'm saying.
like silhouette.
What if
for an end
what if
credit scene would've
season
been
1
great.
opens up with Cad Bane and a back to tank, and then Thrawn walks up to it? You got 2 blue dudes now.
Yeah, which they're not
That's-
both Chiss.
That's all you got to
Just
do.
in case you're wondering.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So Thrawn rescues Cad Bane, and he's like, "I got bigger plans for this.
Right.
Let's leave those chumps in the background or whatever." You know, I mean, they could. Season 3, I think, is going to be insane because they've already set a precedent.
I hope
basically.
so, as long as it's not the same people who did this season.
Yeah.
But 5 and 6, whoever did 5 and 6 can take
They
us
knew
into
what they were
season
doing.
3.
That was by far the best of this whole.
They
I mean,
had
that
a-
was
they had a through line.
5 was
The 5 and
directed
6.
by
Yeah.
5 was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. I don't know who 6 was directed by.
I think that was Dave Filoni.
I think it was.
Dave Filoni directed
Snap.
6
There
because
you go.
he always directs Ahsoka. Anything Ahsoka's
That's
in,
true.
Dave Filoni has to be on it. That's basically his. I think it's written into his contract at this
Mhm.
point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with
I don't
you.
know.
That was the best part, and they knew how to give us pretty much everything we wanted. There was nothing in
Yeah.
those episodes that made us be like, "That was dumb."
That doesn't
Why
make
did they do
sense.
Both
that?"
episodes are rated 100%.
100,
Yeah.
110%.
Oh man. Yeah.
They know what to do. They just got to do it. And sorry, I'm in the dark now.
No, you're good.
He's in the
Oh,
dark.
I'll say one other positive thing I want to hit real fast is I did like when Boba and Mando were fighting together.
Yeah,
I
that was
thought-
pretty cool.
I thought that was actually pretty
Yep.
cool. I like to see that because that kind of reminded me more of season 2 in a lot of ways of
Yep.
Mando
Mhm.
and them working together. I like seeing that. I definitely watch that again. I
Yeah.
just think from now on, for the most part, you need Boba coming in as like a helpful like secondary character.
Yep.
That
doesn't
he just
talk
works
much,
like a really good
And he just
secondary
kills
character.
people.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's why it didn't work with having his own show.
Because
It
they
could have
tried.
worked.
They tried.
If
To,
they did it right.
They
but
just did not go about it. I believe
execution
it right.
was not there.
Right, exactly. So
Well-
yeah, you guys want to anything else we want to touch on before we move on? They didn't bring back I thought they were going to bring back the chick Tusken. They
From
didn't
the-
bring
Yeah.
her
boom,
back.
boom.
We don't know where she is. Maybe
I was
that's
kinda-
where they're gonna go in
I
the
was
next
kind of
season
hoping
of Boba.
what's her name
That's true.
from that got blown up in that part or what was it called? Shoot, that place.
The girl.
Garza
Twill-
Fwip?
Garza Fwip.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping she was going to be alive. I thought
You
that would have been
Dude,
You'd
she
think-
gone.
I know, it
She
makes
dead.
You'd
sense.
think for the Tusken and her, if they were still alive, they would have done something
Yeah.
to at least make us wonder if they were. But
Right.
nothing
Well, I mean,
led to that. So
Yep.
The Tusken, you do wonder because you didn't see her body.
You know what?
but maybe we weren't
Also,
supposed to know that.
where's Mace? Where's Mace Windu?
Yeah.
Come on.
That's
on
all we
now.
needed was Mace.
Also, you know what's missing from
That'd been
Star
sweet.
Wars in like this whole thing? And maybe not everybody's a
Direction?
good- Yeah, well, yeah. Miss in some ways.
Space?
But
Miss.
no.
It's more
there-
space.
I know it sounds weird, but there's no love interests.
Oh
There's
no,
no
yeah.
real like I not that everything has to have it, and nothing really in Star Wars for the most part has. If you want to say the sequel has, it's really garbage if it is.
Well, I mean,
But
It was a weird love.
it was a weird
interest,
love.
Let me
but
tell you.
they haven't had anything like that. What did we have in the original trilogy? We
Love
had like
interest.
a love triangle.
Yeah.
Brotherly
That was
Yeah.
sister
weird
love.
for
Yeah.
one thing.
maybe that's why they're
But-
steering clear of it.
But there was a love story there. And
There's a
that
love
really draws
story.
you into those characters and makes you care about the characters in a lot
Yeah.
of ways. It's
Yeah.
a good
It's overrated.
tool, to get you involved. And it
Nick's
also
going
gets
through stuff.
and if you
Yeah.
want to be more
Bran
for,
muffins.
women in Star Wars, give a love story. I'm not saying that all women want love stories, but it's not going to hurt. Guys like to see it in some ways too. I
Yep.
think it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on how you do it. I mean, Han Solo, the rogue,
Yep.
the smuggler.
It always gives
He's
the
cool.
Smuggler.
Yeah, it
That's
always
why
seems
we like seeing him win over the girl in the end.
Mhm.
Yeah.
it gives the dude something to fight for sometimes and makes it more whatever when they do succeed.
Makes it more whatever he says.
Whatever.
I think
I
they're
mean, and
It gives it whatever.
whatever it is.
A little
Oh,
bit of-
whatever it is. I don't know why I always go Italian.
Italian.
Oh, but look at you, Italian
Nice.
stallion.
Italian stallion.
Wow. Well, I
Yeah.
think that episode, let's rate it real quick.
Yeah.
And I would give it a maybe 7.5. Nope, 6.5 out of 10. Here we go. Dustin,
Okay.
what'd you give it?
Dustin.
I don't know. I'm not in the right mind for this. I think
Right.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
A
4
4.
out of 10.
Wow.
It was that. I mean, there's parts in it that was cool, but overall, there was just painful parts in this episode. I was calling out so much. I was just like, why are they doing that? What?
Yeah.
Back to confusion.
Yeah.
Back
So
to
4 out of 10. It was
4
bad.
out of 10. Okay, Matt.
I'd say a 5.
Yeah.
5.
About
in the
middle of the road.
Middle of the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say 5.5. Middle-ish.
Wow.
That's surprising that I went the lowest.
It's okay. Didn't really meet expectations though.
No.
They could have done better.
Now let's rate the
Underwhelming.
series.
The
The
series
series as a whole.
without 5 and 6?
No, with 5 and 6. You got to count it all because
Out of what?
Out of what?
Out of
Yeah.
Problem is
70
5 and
for
6 were
each
so
episode?
good.
I know. So we got to rate it. What's our total rating for the whole series?
Out
of what?
including
Out of
10?
Out of 10.
Out of 10.
We're going to do it out of
10.
10.
And you can't go over 10.
You can't go over 10 because it doesn't deserve that.
Well, it was 7 episodes.
I'm going to give it. Okay, I'll just start off because 5 and 6 really elevated everything. Like
Yeah.
I would watch 5 and 6 again. I wouldn't watch the rest of this probably again. Those are
Right.
the only ones I rewatched.
Yeah.
I've watched every episode.
Yep.
But 5 and 6 I rewatched.
5 definitely.
5
for sure.
definitely. I watched like 3 times.
Yeah.
And 6 I watched probably two times.
Also, small
and I wanted to watch
small snippet. Did you realize there was another Rocky reference in 5 with the meat
Oh, I didn't.
in the beginning? I'm
Oh,
like,
that's-
dude, it's straight out of Rocky because he
It
goes
is.
to the meat freezer and
punches
boom,
it.
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I didn't realize
Yeah.
that. That's a good call.
Okay, wait, what were you rating it?
So I'm just gonna rate it. I'm gonna rate it I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Yep.
6.5 out of 10.
That's
Just because of 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Without 5 and 6,
Exactly.
it'd be probably a
2.
0.
That's a
3.
failing grade, kids.
But right now with 5 and 6, we're doing 6.5. All right, what do you guys think?
65%.
Yep, I would say the same thing. 6. Just because of the 2 episodes. And then if those weren't counted, probably like a 3. It just wasn't great.
No.
Their execution was way off.
Yeah, way off.
Tried to be
we were
edgy.
This close to greatness.
We're this close.
And you were like this close.
You were like a block away
Yeah.
on another planet.
You were on the second sun of
You're on the
Tatooine.
second sun
Not
of
the first
Tatooine. There's a timepiece on Yavin 4.
one. Go watch
Call
Laser
back.
Brain Gaming. It's hilarious.
Yes, we need
On
to do
camera.
more of those. Also,
are.
I need to build more Legos.
Okay. What do you think, Matt?
What do you think, Strong Matt?
Strong, happy, plaid Matt.
Obviously, 5 and 6 brought it up. So,
What'd you say again, Matt?
I said 6.
Okay, sorry, Matt.
And if it wasn't with 5 and 6, it'd be a 3.
probably 5.5, 6, somewhere
Yeah.
in there.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's about the middle of the road.
it's just,
And that's with the 2 episodes. It'd be lower
Yeah.
without those.
what would
wouldn't
it be if the entire season was just 5 and 6?
10
10
out
out
of
10
10.
out of 10.
That's all you
yeah.
got, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all you got.
10 out of 10.
Oh,
Still
it'd
10
still
out of
be
10 out of 10.
better than whatever the
Right,
crap this was.
I mean, we were raving about that. I mean, I could not stop talking about that because it was so well done, so well
Right.
executed, and we said that was another golden age of Star Wars.
Yeah.
We literally said after those 2 episodes, we are now in a new golden age of Star Wars, and then we got this.
They
Yeah.
tricked us.
They
really-
tricked us.
That's what the sequel.
They left us. They left us.
All right, Dan. What do you want to rate the whole series?
I'll
Dan,
give
Dan.
it a 7 out of 10.
Yep.
Without the 2 episodes, what would you give it?
Without the 2 episodes,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be as low because I did enjoy some
Like
of
a
the testing
5?
stuff, but probably more like a 3.
A 3?
Yeah.
Same.
You know, it's
I feel that.
it was
I feel it.
because the ending of Boba's story was kind of like didn't happen without Mando.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
You know,
it's
it just
literally
didn't
what
happen without
carried it.
Mando.
Carried it.
And I know that
picked it up.
they had to bring him back
Indeed.
because
Yeah.
you know if Boba was in Mando season, they kind of owed him one. So he's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, we need some muscle. We're in trouble now. Let's go get Mando. He's the best. So that's where we're at. The Cad Bane tie-in, and then the Luke stuff, and all that jazz really opened the world, and it made it awesome, and it made this final episode palatable.
yeah.
Oh, last thing I got to say is if you have to have a secondary character come in to save your primary character show,
Stop.
you're not doing it right.
Yeah. Yeah. If everybody's more excited. for
It
that
should have been able to stand up on its own 2 feet.
Like Mando was able
And
to stand up on his
literally
own 2
what you
feet,
did is
Yeah.
just
whether Boba
chopped
came
it
in or
off
not.
at the
Right.
knees, and then Mando came in and cradled Boba and carried him to the finish line.
It's just so
To
bizarre.
the back to tank.
Literally, it was like Anakin losing his other arm and legs. He's still alive. And then, yeah.
It's so bizarre because the same people that gave us 5 and I don't know, the same people that gave us
I think
Mando gave us this, but
No.
not really.
They didn't
I don't-
direct it.
They didn't.
I think
direct
that's
it.
what the problem was.
I think they
I don't think
stood
they
by
wrote it.
in
Yeah.
just
You know what I'm saying? They
complete
didn't-
disbelief.
I don't think
I
they
thought Favreau wrote it.
supervised it close enough.
I think there was a lot of meddling with the higher ups. I've heard some
Metal.
rumors,
Bing!
when it.
and I feel like
Yeah,
this is what happened to the sequel trilogy. Well, the sequel trilogy is just bad from the get go.
it
Yeah.
felt like discombobulated.
But
You're right.
it felt like a commission built it. It was like the story group wrote this, not
Sequel
not
trilogy.
people that love Star Wars, know how to make good Star Wars. It was like whoever started interjecting ideas into this does not understand Star Wars
No.
or the characters.
The sequel trilogy lasted for about 5 minutes.
It was about episode.
And then I realized it was a remake of the original. And I was like, oh God, they can't go up from here. They can only go down.
they could
They
have.
could have redeemed it,
They really could have.
but they chose not to.
But
You
they
know
went
why?
the complete opposite way.
Money.
I don't know. I think it was
Trying to make money, but
Yeah.
failing to make money.
I think it was agenda.
Money
is what they went
grubbers.
for more than
Yeah.
the story, and it just failed miserably. But that's the sequel trilogy. This is Boba Fett, which feels a lot like the sequel trilogy. We're glad you stuck with us this whole time. You guys have anything else before we get on out of here?
Yes.
I think
No.
we've ranted and raved enough. I sure have. I'm sorry
We have.
if that was a bit negative for you guys out there, but we're just keeping it raw.
It took
for
7
real.
episodes to get a good old fashioned rant.
Rant.
Oh,
Yeah,
good
rant.
old-fashioned
It was
rant.
building. It was building from those first, and it was really
It
tamed
pushed
for
it
5 and
back,
6.
He's either Cobb Ranth or
Cobb
he's
Ranth.
the Rant Thor.
He was a good part of the. I liked seeing him too.
Right?
I would have rather seen a whole series about him, honestly.
I,
And maybe
was
we
cool.
will.
I hope so.
I like the Western vibe.
Yeah,
But
it
that
was
was
really
that
good
was
Western.
6. That was awesome.
Yeah. All right, but
5
also,
and 6.
so
Yeah.
yeah, and we also got so the next series though we do have to look forward to is
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan
May
coming out May
25th.
25th.
Also,
So-
they had one job, May the 4th release date, and you
Well,
failed.
yeah. That-
So
we were
let's
this
hope
close
that
to
show's
greatness.
good.
I don't know. I'm a little nervous about that show, to be honest. I'm excited, but
Hey,
tentatively
They
excited.
got Ewan McGregor back. They got Hayden Christensen back.
but do we need that?
They got Ewan
again?
McGregor back.
Again, no.
That's pretty impressive.
It's Space Jesus.
Is this? I'm just nervous that this is going to be another Boba Fett situation.
Right.
Because
Yeah, I hope not.
they could totally ruin it.
Because, dude, like,
Danger.
At this point,
people
their
are
track
going to be
record-
upset
'cause-
if it's another Boba Fett.
Because who's doing? Well,
I have no idea.
Oh.
No idea at all.
I think the director is, which I don't know about the director. I think the director is probably gonna be fine. But whoever did the story, I want to know who did the story. Who wrote the story?
Right.
What's it gonna be about? Are you
There
gonna
it is.
totally? That's cool. I do like that.
Right.
But we're back to Tatooine. We just
We
We're
just
on
got
Tatooine.
off Tatooine.
We're gone,
couldn't you go
Matt.
somewhere else first and then do this? I don't know.
Right.
People are excited for Obi-Wan. I'm excited
Yeah.
still. I hope that my hope is that they do the Kenobi book. Just do
Yeah.
it straight. Do it
Yeah, do it straight.
exactly the way
That
they
means
did
you're
it,
going to get some Tuscans.
which is fine.
Tuskens.
In that book, the Kenobi book, it's Legends. But if you do that book, it's epic. And
Yeah.
and it's all on Tatooine. That's the right way to do Tatooine in that book. I'm just saying that. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm excited for that one. You guys excited for that one?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
Matt's-
I am
Matt's
excited.
excited.
Nothing about it. So
Yeah.
Well,
It
I-
better be good, or else
Someone's
Disney's
dying.
going down.
Yeah,
but that's the next show, right? The next series.
Yeah, that's next.
So we'll
series
probably
coming
do
out.
some stay on targets before
Yeah,
then
that's what I was
on
getting-
something.
that's what I was getting at, basically. But if we
Legos,
don't do a stay on target
video
before then,
games.
you'll definitely see us for the Kenobi series. We'll be
Yeah.
here to
Yeah.
hype it up and or tear it down, depending on what they do.
Yeah.
We hope it's good, and I want to see more good Star Wars like Episode 5 and 6.
Yep.
But anyways, thanks for tuning in
Yeah.
for this episode, the last episode, and for this season. We hope
Yes.
you guys had fun with us. We had a lot of fun through the whole season, even though it was We were on a real roller coaster
Yeah,
ride.
It was a roller coaster of emotion.
it was a
Bad
roller coaster of
emotion.
emotion.
You guys,
I think this show has come a long way since the beginning.
Yeah.
Mandalorian started to stay on target, so
Yes.
Mandalorian's carrying the is carrying
It's
the torch,
carrying us.
it's got a special place in
carrying
our
the
hearts.
Olympic
Yeah.
torch.
The
And
Olympic
it's been
torch.
almost 2.5 years since we started our first day on target. So this is like our podcast number 4,000. I don't know where we're at now.
Wait, what
100.
season are we in?
This is our third season.
Is it? I thought we already did third season.
Don't worry about it. Maybe it's 4.
We'll
I
figure
think
it
it
out
was
and get back to
four.
you.
Don't worry about it.
We'll figure it out.
There was a
Mind
1.5 and a 2.5 in there
Mind your
somewhere.
Do we
because
even have seasons, or are we?
It's literally like every.
I prefer the seasons to follow when the Mandalorian shows up.
Right.
Everything else comes
Okay,
along
whatever.
It's
because,
side.
because they match. We'll think
Right.
about this.
This is Stay on Target Boba Fett season 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really, if you want to do it that way.
Yeah, that makes
True.
sense.
But yeah, I know it's been fun. I've been really enjoying.
It's been
doing
real.
this.
It's been
Let's-
fun.
Well,
it
we,
hasn't
we,
been
we
real fun.
introduced our new character, Matthew,
Matthew.
who joined in with Laserbrain. Although he was on Bad Batch, so that was our season maybe 2.5.
He's Ricky.
3.
Well, we've done this
It's
5 times.
Amiga.
Season 1 was Mandalorian, the
corridor?
original.
I
Then we
was in
watched
on
the Clone Wars.
Mandalorian.
That was 1.5. And then we
Mhm.
watched Mandalorian season 2. There's season 2 for us. Then 2.5 was the Bad Batch, and then season 3 is Book of Boba Fett.
I don't know about that.
Hmm.
And
I don't know
3.5 will be Obi-Wan.
Hmm.
Right.
Season 4 will be the
We-
4th season of Mandalorian.
Gotcha.
All right. See you later.
I'll convince
everybody.
convince you later. And for the rest of you,
Sounds good.
sounds good.
Sounds good, homie.
All right, homie G's. Sorry.
Wow.
You fetzos.
You can't take that back now,
You fat-
Dustin.
Hi, homie G's.
I don't know why I
Sorry
said
if I
that.
just
What a
scarred
way
you
to
for
end it.
life.
Fat freaks. We are not so much tonight, but we still had
No.
fun. Anyway,
Did we?
the Rancor was cool.
Did
All
we
right,
have
we're
fun?
going to get out of here. Thanks for joining. Let us know what you
Yeah.
guys thought in the comment section. Let's keep this conversation going. If you want to rant there, that's fine too. We like the rants.
Cobb Ranth.
Rant
Cobb
ant.
rants.
Cobb rant or rant core.
Like, comment, subscribe. Check out our podcast. Tell Matt he's handsome. Tell Nick he's not. Tell me something that I talk too much. And tell Dan that he's the best ever in the world.
Yeah.
And tell the fact checker that she deserves to be paid more.
We
All right.
do.
Fact
And
checkers
on that
over
note-
here.
Do you guys have anything else to send us out with?
No.
Perfect.
No.
Let's get out of here.
The feet were moving.
Like a rancor out of the palace.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
beauty
man.
that killed the beast.
Seriously though, where was Slave One in this?
I
Could have
don't know.
done so much more damage.
All right, let's leave him with
Collateral.
I'm going to give him
damage.
with one more commercial break. So you guys just
Okay.
stare right at the screen and we'll
Okay.
end it on a
pure
killer note.
silence.
And we are in.